So you guys are on ship?
No, we're reservists.
Right.
We're the local reserve unit in South Wales at HMS Cambria. The main building is soon to be down in the Cardiff Bay in our new building.
Right.
We also have a division in John Chard VC in Swansea.
We can see the cadets behind you there setting up. Is sort of recruitment okay? I mean, are young people still getting involved?
From our point of view, yeah, we recently had an open evening to try and get younger people to come in, and we had a massive response. We're now at the stage where we're having to put on a waiting list for the younger ones. We could still do with more sort of 12 to 18 year olds, and they're more than happy to come and see us every Tuesday and Friday down them over.
We hear of problems with young people. Is it a great sort of institution, if you like, to join for that discipline still?
Yeah, it's a great sense of achievement, good team camaraderie, and a great career.
I was speaking to a Chelsea pensioner over there, and they're quite thrilled with the way in which they're still being remembered today, and with events like this, the Armed Forces Day. Do you see this continuing? I mean, with some of the political pressures to save money with the armed forces and so on, and council cuts, do you see this as still continuing an important part of the community remembering?
Well, if we don't continue this, everything will just fall apart.
Yeah.
It's not just for remembering, it's to thank the people that are doing it now.
Yeah.
And obviously, from my point of view, with the younger ones coming through, hopefully to go on and do what other people do now and in the past.
George, you're the Veterans Community Benefactor, and Vanda, you're the Treasurer for the Royal British Legion Llanelli branch. Massive day here today again, George, for the veterans.
Yeah, very, very special, and it's been held in various parts of the country.
Yeah.
And I believe it's the first time it's been held in Llanelli, so it'll be a very memorable occasion.
Commander, we were speaking to some of the veterans earlier, Chelsea pensioners, people who've served all over the world. And they were saying how important it is to have events like this, and the funding coming from the Royal British Legion doing such an amazing job of raising funds, Poppy Day and other events throughout the year.
Yeah, but the veterans have raised money for this, and with the help of George, the Legion, they don't fund these events.
Yeah. The Bank of George will be empty soon with all the events he's funding here. George, it's going to be an amazing day. You looking forward to it?
Oh yes, it's important we acknowledge the veterans. There's so many have given, have gone through very tough times in their lives in the forces, and it's important that the community of veterans and what they've done is acknowledged.
But also behind you here, so many young people, cadets.
Yeah. It's a great discipline for young people to be involved, and I think it's a great asset to the community generally, that we take pride in and we have got the best forces possibly in the world. I think I consider anyhow,
Right, there.
In 2006, it was announced by the government that there should be a Veterans Day, and that date, the last Saturday in June, was being chosen, with the first tent being held later that year. This day is now an annual event and is marked across the UK by local ceremonies like this one, where villages, towns and cities across the country can show their appreciation for the contribution and sacrifice that members of Her Majesty's Armed Forces, veterans communities have made for their country.
Parade! Turn! Standard bearers! Carry! Standards! Drumhead party! Please head! Drums! Sir! Slow! March! Easy!
Just are in the hands of God, and no torment will ever touch them. In the eyes of the foolish they seem to have died, and their departure was thought to be an affliction, and their going from us to be their destruction. but they are at peace. For though in the sight of many they were punished, their hope is full of immortality. And having been disciplined a little, they will receive great good, because God has tested them and found them worthy of himself. Like gold in the furnace he tried them. And in the time of their visitation they will shine forth, and will run like sparks through the stubble. They will govern nations and rule over people, and the Lord will reign over them forever. Those who trust in him will understand truth, and the faithful will abide with him in love, because grace and mercy are upon his elect, and he watches over his holy ones. Amen.
Dave, that was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Well, I thought so. It shows what we can do when we're ordering our veterans, and I think it was a great event.
The Drumhead Festival, speaking to a few people, they've never seen that before. It's quite unique.
Well, it's unique possibly to a lot of people, but I've been in the armed forces myself.
Yeah.
I've seen it a few times, yes.
And there's a lot of initiatives in Carmarthenshire for ex-veterans now, aren't there?
Well, we're doing our best. We're trying to bring... The main issue is that veterans are very reserved in bringing themselves forward and making them identified
Too
as
proud,
veterans.
maybe, are they?
Too proud. That's I think what the issue is. Yes. But once we know of them, then we do our best to help them.
The Mayor of Agen, John Jonis Decision, and John Jones, the Mayor of Llanelli. Quite unique to have you both in the same place here with so much distance between you, but you've come together for this very important occasion today.
Yes, because it is the 30th birthday anniversary of our twinning relationship, and so it's an important date for us because this twinning is working well. We've done a lot of things with the schools, with the sports club, with our rugby club, so we are it's a very important thing, the twinning between Agen and Llanelli, so we had to be there for the 30th anniversary.
And what do you think of Llanelli as a town?
I think Llanelli is a very attractive town, and it's a very, I would say, human town, you know, with a good dimension, the right dimension of Agen.
Obviously, John, there's close links anyway with the armed forces liberating France in essence, so quite pertinent that the Mayor of Agen is here to witness this fantastic event honouring the armed forces today.
Yeah, it was important that we all get together on our 30th anniversary, and we brought the army, all the forces together so that we can have a good day for the Agen people.
How was that for you? How did you enjoy it?
Very good, yes, very good. Very professional, good parade.
What did you think of the drumhead service? That was quite unusual, wasn't it?
Yes, very moving.
It was a good turnout for the first time for travelers.
Yeah.
And probably next year will even be better than this year.
was that, Dewi? All right?
Yes, thank you.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did.
The drum service was quite fantastic, wasn't it?
Excellent, yes.
Yeah. Are you getting a lot of attention in your red coat? Scarlet.
Yeah,
the scarlet coat.
That's the word.
Getting a lot of attention, yeah? People shaking your hands there, I can see.
Yeah. Oh, yes, everybody's glad to see you at Chelsea Pension at any time.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
With Jean-Pierre Hillier and Neil Griffith MP in Llanelli. Jean-Pierre, what did you think of that today?
Today, it was a wonderful parade, and I can only say that you're the best to stage such events compared to us French people. You're really the best.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment, Neil, isn't it?
It's a real compliment, and I'd like to thank the Llanelli veterans and the Royal British Legion for making such an excellent first time ever Armed Forces Day parade here in Llanelli, and it was a delight to be able to share that with our French friends from Agen, who've now had this twinning relationship for 30 years, and it just reminds us how we have so much in common and how there is so much good in the world, and that's what we want to celebrate.
And well, that's quite pertinent. A lot of men from Llanelli may have travelled through Agen during that period.
Well, indeed, and I think it's really important to remember how important international relations are, and obviously as we sadly have to remember some people who died in the service of their country, it does actually bring it home that what really matters is creating a world where we don't have that sort of tragedy.
Andrew, you the parade marshal today?
Yes, yeah.
Quite well organised, I would say, and a fantastic event again. You must be happy.
Yeah, good. I was happy. A lot of the organisation went to Paul Wickers and Bob Thomas. Yeah. I was the parade marshal because I've been doing the parade in Llanelli now for a number of years, Remember Sunday. But it's the first ever Armed Forces Day parade in Llanelli, and I believe it's the first drumhead service as well, which is incorporated into the parade, so it's a little bit more complicated. But the sort of turnout from the public in Llanelli, brilliant.
We could hear the applause as you were all coming through there. Will you be doing this next year as well? Is it an annual thing now?
I'm not sure. I'd like to think so. I know we had a lot of support of Llanelli Town Council.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we will be doing it again, but I don't see why not.